Hello everybody, my name is Javier Oncina, and this video is recorded to explain my final task, named The Importance of Nutrition. During the realization of this work is intended that students acquire knowledge about the types of food that exist and their classification according to the nutrients they contain, because it's very important that they carry out a correct diet nutrition for their health, as well as to study the risks that a bad diet and a sedentary life could generate. To this, two activities focused on nutrition have been prepared. The first one, the food dictionary, and the second one, what should be in your plate. If we focus on the first one, the food dictionary, we see that the objective to this activity is to know and classify the main food groups according to their nutritional value. In this activity, the students must build a dictionary where they gather information about the different terms related to nutrition. For it, first of all, there will be a brainstorm to see what kind of food the students know, and for this, they are proposed to comment on their favorite foods, breaking them down into their constituent parts. As for example, pizza is made with flour, oil, salt, tomato, cheese, etc. Once there are enough examples of food, these are included within the 5 food groups that, as we see in the picture, we find vegetables, fruits, protein source, grains, and dairy products. Okay, it's in this point when the students are asked about nutrition. And we can introduce questions like, do you think that is the same food and nutrition? And if they are not, what is a nutrient? Through the previous question and and the answers, the definition of nutrient is introduced, as well as the different types of nutrients we find in the world. As we see in this picture, we find protein, carbohydrates, vitamins, fats, minerals, and water. Nutrients are the necessary elements or molecules to perform the vital functions of the cell through a metabolic process, and they are introduced into the organism through the intake of food. Okay, as we see here, we have a division because they can divide it basically according to criteria, depending on the function they perform in our body, being structural, regulatory, energetic, and according to the need for the intake, macro and micronutrients, meaning high and low needs. There will be a brief explanation of them, so students can expand the vocabulary. Starting with macronutrients, we find proteins, carbohydrates, water, and fat. If we focus on proteins, we can say that its main functions are structural for the muscles and regulatory as enzymes. And proteins are made of amino acids as chains. Okay. Talking about carbohydrates or carbs, they are formed by carbon, hydrogen, and oxygen, and carbohydrates are the source of energy for our organs. So its function is energetic. Talking about fat provides energy and maintains our body temperature. So it has regulatory and energetic function. And there are different types of fat: saturated, monounsaturated, and polyunsaturated fatty acids. Talking about water, that is formed by hydrogen and oxygen, water is of major importance to all living things, and into our body, up to 70% of our body is water. It has regulatory and structural functions. Okay, now if we focus on micronutrients, we find vitamins and minerals. Vitamins are substances with very varied structures and origins, and are essential for our health with them regulatory functions as enzymes. If we talk about minerals, along with vitamins, are vital nutrients with regulatory function as enzymes and structural function for our teeth and bones. There are two types of minerals the body needs to stay healthy. The major, for example, calcium, magnesium, sodium, and the other are trace minerals, iron, zinc, for example. And to finish the first activity, as an extra, students will be asked to bring nutritional levels to bring nutritional levels of usual consumer foods they have in their homes and analyze the information to perform task 2. Task 2, which should be in your plate. The objective of this second activity is awareness of the problems that can lead not to having a proper diet and the preparation of a healthy diet. Description. Okay. In the first place, the food pyramid is exposed right here, which is a simple and very visual representation of how our diet should be based. At the bottom of the pyramid, we find the foods that should be the basic pillars of healthy diet, and on the top, we can find foods that we shouldn't consume. We should not consume as frequently or directly excluded from the diet due to its high caloric level and its low nutritional content. After that, the students are taught a series of adverse effects for not having a healthy diet, as it could be, for example, expert alerts that teenagers' diet has low level of essential nutrients, vitamins and minerals especially, and is high in saturated fat and sugar and salt. This type of diet may have potentially detrimental effects on both and short on both short and long-term nutritional status and health. Also, if we talk about short term, it has impact on concentration, cognitive, and immune function. In long term, obesity is associated with higher risk of heart disease, hypertension, insulin resistance, diabetes, osteoporosis, and also if you add to a bad diet other factors such as sedentary life, consumption of alcohol and tobacco, the probability of getting sick multiplies several times. Okay, so once everything is explained, the term of BMA, that is body mass index, is introduced so that the students can make their own calculations. The aim is to introduce the students to the context of the unit through the motivation activity. After that, the students are allowed to reflect on results, and a series of questions are proposed to discuss among themselves. For example, we can propose several questions like, how do we eat? For pleasure or necessity? Are our eating habits good? Do we need changes? And to end the session, after this reflection time, students must prepare the final task, and it is to perform a one-day diet. This is the second part of the activity. Okay, as they all have seen in the unit, the best diet is that which contains all kind of food in the right amount, because that way the nutrients can fulfill our biological needs properly. To this end, in group of few members, they must prepare a daily menu with 5 meals for 2,000 more or less kilocalories diet, with the help of labels previously collected and other bibliography if they need, and then make a presentation for the rest of the class. In this way, we encourage communicative strategies in the student, both in written and the oral field, so they can communicate the results of what they have learned clearly and